Sergio Ramos is free. Sergio Ramos has a mission. Do I want Sergio Ramos in our team? I will answer that question later in today's video, but we'll speak about much more. Ciao Juventini of the world. My name is Giuseppe. Welcome back on the channel. I hope you're all doing well. It's Monday. It's the 1st of December, the first day of the last month of the year. And what a month, because we will play 6 games starting tomorrow in Coppa Italia, but then Serie A, Napoli, Bologna, Roma. Mamma mia, what a month. A month where a lot can depend about. We can be all in and all there, or we can already be out. Let's be totally honest. Anyway, yesterday I recorded a video speaking about Serie A, about Roma 0, Napoli 1, about the ranking, random thought about the day, but there was one thing that I had in mind, I really wanted to say, and I don't know why, I forgot to mention it. Well, it's that goal of David Neres yesterday, the only goal of the game. Him, one-on-one against the goalkeeper at the 35th minute. He's going there. And of course, at that moment, while he's running, I have some flashbacks because I already saw that thing. And not that long ago, because it was actually 24 hours before. He's going one-on-one. Zverar against him is going 1-0, the only goal that is deciding the game. While we had that opportunity with Conceição at the beginning of the second half against Cagliari, and we are missing it because that was the goal that was closing the game. Conceição is actually saying it after the game. No, I am not happy about my performances because that should have been a goal. And I totally agree with him. It's not the first time, unfortunately, that we are missing these one-on-one. Dusan Vlahovic, Conceição, and how many times did it happen? That's something that we need to improve. I don't know if it's the courage, the mental, the balls, I don't know, the precision, the accuracy, but these one-on-ones, they need to finish in the net without any discussion. Yesterday I was pissed off. While speaking about the ranking, I told you that we can have a lot of regrets, especially speaking about Torino game, about the Fiorentina game, where we just threw some points against the Fiorentina, this disaster, against the Torino, that is the worst defense of Serie A so far. I didn't mention one thing. I didn't mention the referee decision. That, of course, they are not influencing the performance, because the performance doesn't depend about the referee. But at the end, it impacts, it influences the ranking, because with 4 more points, at least 4 more points, where were we in the ranking of Serie A? Anyway, it's -5. We already spoke about it yesterday. If you want more detail, go back to the video of yesterday, because now we need to speak about Dusan Vlahovic, about Spalletti, and also about Sergio Ramos. So if you didn't yet, please don't forget to put a maximum of like, because you're supporting the channel much more than you think. It's totally free. It's totally for free. And then don't forget to subscribe to the channel if you didn't yet, because now we speak about Dusan Vlahovic. Yesterday, a lot of journalists were waiting there in front of the J Medical at 8:30 a.m. until 1 p.m. where someone from Juve came outside and saying, forget about it. He will not be there today. He comes tomorrow. So today is the day of Dusan Vlahovic. For the first part of the test could be made in 2 days to understand really how long he will be out of the field. If we go towards predictions after the adductor problem, well, we are speaking about an end of 2025. This is nearly a certainty. End of 2025. Thinking to see him back in the beginning of 2026. When in January? Well, a lot of people are already saying forget about January. We see him in February. So we are speaking about playoffs of Champions League if we reach them without Dusan Vlahovic. That in a way, for the people that are big fans of Dusan Vlahovic, for the people that are hoping for him to stay also next season because they consider him a really great striker, because they consider him much stronger than David Openda, than Lois Openda and Jonathan David. I'm sorry, I go totally confused with these two. But anyway, that could be an opportunity for Juve. For what reason? Because now Juve is stronger. Dusan Vlahovic cannot continue to play every game, game in, game out, banging goal one after the other, showing that grinta, showing his skills, which would actually attract the other competitors to give him a contract, a big contract. We are speaking about teams that he wants to, like Bayern Munich, like Paris Saint-Germain, like teams in Spain or in Premier League. Forget about it. Him being out, and also people thinking, it's not the first time that he has this physical problem. So forget about giving 12 million, forget about giving 10 million euros salary for a striker that is missing in continuity, that not always has shown his real potential with different coaches, Allegri, Thiago Motta, Tudor, and now with Spalletti. But on top of that, you need to add these small physical problems. Now the adductor, sometimes it's the pubalgia, sometimes it's the back pain. It's a problem. It's a problem which makes Juve stronger in saying, okay, this is what we give to you. 6 million, 7 million, 8 million euro for a next extension of a contract where without too many offers from abroad he could even accept. I don't know if this is the right strategy. A player that is diminished because of physical problems, because of lack of continuity, to offer him a contract. But that's something for later. Anyway, now we have a problem, an urgent problem to solve, because Dusan Vlahovic, without him, and we know it now, we spoke about it, for Spalletti, him being the reference number 9, because at the moment, well, we didn't see a lot from David and from Openda. He needs to invent something, Spalletti, and already starting with tomorrow and this weekend, especially against Napoli. What will he do? 3-4-2-1 continuing, just replacing Vlahovic by or Jonathan David or Lois Openda. Will he go towards a 4-man defense? It looks like no. At the moment, no. Is he really waiting for the Mercato to go towards 4-man? Is he waiting for Bremer? I don't know. But at the moment, looks like Spalletti didn't take the decision to go to 4-man. We were all expecting it to see it already against Cagliari, giving continuity and testing it against Udinese in Coppa Italia, so to be ready against Napoli. We didn't see it, so I don't believe that at the moment he's changing. The crazy idea of Spalletti would be to go towards a 3-5-2. 3-5-2 that they know a lot of Juventini are totally against it. They hate the 3-5-2. I don't know why. Well, I can understand. Whatever formation you are doing, if you are not winning, you hate it. And we played a lot with 3-5-2 in the last 3 years, so I can understand. But we were also playing a 4-2-3-1 with Thiago Motta. It was not working anyway. I honestly don't care about the formation as long as we win. 3-5-2, 4-4-2, 4-2-3-1, 4-3-3, I don't care. As long as we win with dirty 1-0 or with spectacular 5-0, as long as we win, I'm happy with it. But now he's thinking 3-5-2, with one of the strikers, that could be Openda or Jonathan David, but especially with Kenan Yildiz next to him, to oblige him to play closer to the goal. And we see it in Tuttosport, Yildiz fa dare I numeri, which means Yildiz is actually making sure that we are giving him numbers. What are they really speaking about? Because it's not really clear, that title. Well, they went into records, into history. There is always that comparison between Yildiz and Alex Del Piero. I went totally crazy when I started to hear a lot of Juventini starting to say, but he's absolutely not a great number 10. But if you have an offer of 80 million, 100 million euro, don't think twice, sell him, because in terms of goal contribution, he's far from what Alex Del Piero was delivering. He's far from what we are expecting from a number 10. Well, if you are looking black on white, Kenan Yildiz reached 20 goals with Juve 134 days before Alex Del Piero. Does that mean that he's better than Alex? Does that mean that he will have a much better career than ADP? Absolutely not. We are not speaking about that. We're just speaking about goal contribution, comparing different eras, that when we are looking at papers, well, we can say that Yildiz is, according to plan, becoming a real number 10, a real strong player, a real asset for Juventus, and that number 10 that he has on the shoulder is absolutely deserved, if still some people are doubting about it. That captain band that is starting to receive in a team without leadership, with lacking of characters and courage, like Spalletti is saying, is totally deserved. So we are speaking about a player that will play, will continue to play. Now, there was one thing that made me laugh the last time. There was a Spalletti that was saying he's great, he's strong, speaking about Yildiz. He has these qualities, he's trying to find his position on the field, but of course, even playing there offensively, he needs to come back running. This is something that honestly, I never see Kenan not doing. I always saw him giving support to the team, always. With Allegri, with Tudor, with Thiago Motta, I always remember that he was running back, something that actually we were a bit against it, because at certain moments we were saying, if he goes up and down, up and down, up and down, he's losing that lucidity, being clear-minded in front of the goal. Well, that 3-5-2 could possibly helping, and now Spalletti is also starting to think that what he said is maybe a mistake, because how does he want to manage him? putting him closer to the goal, one. Less runs up and down. So if a few weeks ago he was asking him to run more, well, now he's saying actually run less so that you are a killer in front of that goal. And then also resting when possible. And that's why the game of tomorrow, Juventus-Udinese, I am not expecting to see Kenan Yildiz starting that game. So forget about it. For the people that are there only to watch Kenan, well, forget, especially in the first half, because I don't see him starting. Then if we need him, like against Bode, and I hope not, well, we can see. But resting him would be super important, because I told you, super calendar with 6 games to be played in December. Tomorrow, Juventus-Udinese with hopefully, I think, a lot of rotations. I don't know at the moment what will be the formation. I don't know who will have more chances than someone else to play. But I can tell you that Perin being confirmed could be a possibility. I tell you, if Di Gregorio is playing tomorrow and Perin in Napoli, we open a case. But it's too early to speak about that. Miretti, Gatti, Jegrova, Adzic, Joao Mario, all players on top of the 2 strikers that needs to play more minutes. Will they all play simultaneously? I don't think so, because it's a competition. Don't forget what happened last year against Empoli, that we don't need to underestimate. We need to play it, and we need to win it, because this is one of the competitions where you really can bring silverware home and put that cup in the museum. Then, will we see Bremer against Napoli, or already on the bench against Udinese tomorrow? No. But this is something that I was not expecting. When all the papers were telling you Juve Napoli or Napoli Juve is the mission, is the target to see the Brazilian defender again on the field, I told you, calma, calma, calma. And this will not happen. We will not see him. He will start now to train with the team gradually. I don't think that Napoli will even be feasible. Maybe the next one against Pafos on the bench. Maybe the next one it could be, but it's a bit too early. Will he be playing in 2026? We think so. But then it's actually important to understand which game he will be first called up and secondly play. And that's why from now on we need to manage Gleison Bremer. We need to manage him, especially in the first weeks, in the first months, maybe until the end of the season, not playing game in, game out as we did in the beginning of the season, because he's the pillar. And that's why when you have an opportunity like Sergio Ramos on the market for free, well, I already told you. I already answered that question, but I did it 1 year ago. In the winter, do you remember? Or even before the winter, when we had that injury of Gleison Bremer, there was Sergio Ramos that was totally free on the market. He was looking for a team. And I was the one that was saying, sign him, sign him, give him, I don't know, because it was free, so it was October, 8-month contract until the end of the season. Go for it. It didn't happen. We didn't even want. What we did was actually putting away Danilo, that just won the cup in South America with a goal, 1-0. We didn't want. We prefer to go with less defenders than indeed signing defenders, waiting until the 3rd of January, if I'm not wrong, 3rd of February, to sign Kelly. Renato Vega was there on loan without any possibility to sign him. Well, I tell you, Sergio Ramos for me would be a big yes. I know he's 39. I would already have taken him last season, but he's a player that is playing or was playing with Mexico in the Mexican League. He was playing all the game at disposal. I believe he played 15 out of 17 in the last season, 88% of the minutes at disposal, scoring some goals as well. It's a player that is free. In terms of salary, it's not a huge money, and he wants actually to play in Europe again. That's his mission. He wants to play in Europe in a good team so that he has minutes at disposal to convince the coach of Spain, the national team coach of Spain, that he can go there with Spain in USA 2026. USA, Canada, Mexico, to be there being called up. It will be extremely difficult for Sergio Ramos, but I would take him. For what reason? Because I believe that he's the defender of the future. Well, when we are speaking about someone that is 39, becoming 40 in the month of March, forget about it. He will not be the future. I don't even think that he is the present. Probably he's already the past. But it's a player that can bring you winning mentality, can give you leadership, can give you all these things that we are lacking. A Juve that is needing to have some examples on the field. So, a player that could be there to give the opportunity to manage Bremer, giving some leadership, giving some winning mentality to some kids that we have, because we have some kids in our team that will look up at him and saying, wow, this is the attitude, this is the behavior of a winning player. Until the end of the season, I would go for him without any hesitation. Let me know what you would do with Sergio Ramos. Let me know what you would do from now on without Dusan Vlahovic. Would you give the chance to Openda? Would you give the chance to Jonathan David? Let me know in the comment section. I'm curious to read you. Grazie, forza, Juve.